Saturn starts its retrograde phase on July 27th. In this video, I talk about the impact that this planetary change could potentially have on the world and each one of us. Hello everyone, I'm Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very, very warm namaste. Aham Brahmasmi. In my last video, I had mentioned that I had started a new business venture and I would introduce that to you. So let me introduce my pure ghee brand to all of you. It's called Ghyo. We have a large commercial kitchen in Northern California where we personally make this, and it is sold online as well as in health food pop-up markets. In the 6 weeks since we have been selling it, we have received an amazing sales response and hundreds of repeat buyers. So I'm very encouraged by the recognition of the brand as an offering of a pure, healthy, and a delicious product. Why ghee, you may ask? Well, there's a very significant astrological reason for me to start that, besides the fact that pure ghee has lots of health benefits as well. Ghee represents 3 of the most benefic planets in Vedic astrology, so it kind of activates good things in our chart. The primary planet for ghee is Jupiter. This is due to the purity, nourishment, abundance, and prosperity factors that both ghee and Jupiter signify. The moon signifies dairy products, emotional well-being, motherly nourishment, and emotional well-being. So the moon signifies ghee as well. Venus signifies rich, luxurious foods, taste, comfort, sweetness, and beauty. So it has a secondary association with ghee. The sun has a symbolic connection because it is used during prayer and to light the prayer lamps. So when we consume pure ghee, understand I'm saying pure ghee, we are actually activating all the benefic planets in our charts. Oils of all kinds that you see in the market, seed oils especially, are represented by Saturn. So you understand that consuming a lot of oily, fried foods activates Saturn in our chart. I've mentioned this a lot of times in my previous videos. But keep in mind, you only should consume very pure ghee, because the commonly sold ghee is in Indian stores in the US is contaminated with seed oils and preservatives and chemicals, which it represents Saturn and Rahu. We make our ghee per the traditional Bologna method, which cream fresh from California dairy farms, which results in pure ghee. It does not contain any additives of any kind whatsoever. We are certified by the California Food and Dairy Association as one of the first to produce ghee via this method in the US. Actually, health officials are now discouraging the consumption of oils, especially seed oils. And we also get a lot of feedback from our customers that tell us that their medical doctors have advised that they consume pure ghee for better health. If you would like to purchase our ghee and experience all these benefits firsthand, the link to the website is below. You can click it and place your order. We will ship it to you. Now, my subscribers are being offered a discount for the first time, which is 15% off their first order. The promo code is Chaudhary15. Buy this ghee, use it, and then you'll understand why I have created this ghee for the people, so they have better health, they activated the good planets in their chart, and experience a better life. Currently, Saturn is transiting in the zodiac of Pisces. It will remain in Pisces until next year, June 3rd, 2027. Saturn is the slowest moving of all the 5 planets that Vedic astrology takes into consideration. So it stays in each zodiac for approximately 2.5 years. However, it goes retrograde once a year for approximately 140 days or so. This year, Saturn turns retrograde from July 27th until December 11th, which is about 138 days. During this entire retrograde phase, Saturn will not change its zodiac sign, so it continues to stay in Pisces. It is currently transiting in the nakshatra of Revati. And October 9th, it will retrograde back to Uttar Bhadrapada nakshatra for the last time in 30 years. So there is a nakshatra change, but no zodiac change. Now, I have explained in several of my previous videos that when any planet is said to be retrograde, it does not actually start moving backwards. It just seems to be moving backwards from the Earth's perspective, because this is the phase when the Earth is the closest to that planet. With this, you would understand that during the retrograde phase of any planet, we experience a stronger and more enhanced impact of its significations due to it being the closest to the Earth. In Vedic astrology, it is believed that Saturn keeps track of all our karma, positive as well as negative. It also represents discipline, responsibility, hard work, patience, and humility. And above all, it represents our career and profession. Saturn also causes delays and obstacles just in order to test how well we can cope with these difficulties. It doesn't cause it to torment us, it just causes them to test us. So the yearly Saturn retrograde phase can be considered to be our own karmic review of sorts. It's a period when we are given an opportunity to reflect on our unfinished or incomplete karma of the previous months, years, and to take responsibility for them. We are also given opportunities to correct or revise our previous mistakes or plans. We could also possibly experience delays and obstacles during this retrograde phase that may instill us the virtues of discipline and patience. In this retrograde phase, Saturn is in the zodiac of Pisces and in the nakshatra of Revati. Pisces is the 12th and the last zodiac. Revati is also the last of the 27 nakshatras. So with this information, it becomes rather clear that this retrograde phase of Saturn indicates endings or finality of some sort. Now, this finality could be related to your job, career, relationships, your residence, your status, just about anything in your life. So many different things for people depending upon a variety of factors in your own life, in your own birth chart. These finalizations could also be by choice that you make, or they could be forced upon you. They could be sudden, or they may have been in the planning stages for a long time. But be prepared for some changes to occur, because this is a very significant planetary event. Saturn is ending its 30-year cycle through the zodiac and preparing to start a completely new cycle when it transits into Aries, which is the first zodiac, next year. That will be an even more significant event for all the world and all of us when Saturn starts its completely new 30-year cycle. So what can we expect at an overall impact during this retrograde phase? All those things that have been lingering for a while will now get completed. Things that you had been pushing off to the side and avoiding will now bubble up to the surface and force you to handle them. There can be mental stress, anxiety, and emotional pressure for some of us as we are faced with challenges, changes, delays, obstacles. Make sure to remain calm and understand that this is happening only to help you learn so you are ready to move on forward with greater understanding and wisdom when the new cycle starts. Prioritize yourself and most importantly, retrospect within yourself on what you have learned in the past years and what are your areas of improvement. Don't continue to make the same mistakes. Identify your challenges and improve them. Just understand that this phase is allowing us the chance to take a final look at all our mistakes and incomplete issues from the past, rectify, correct them, revise them, and complete or finalize them so you don't drag them into your new 30-year cycle with you. This would be a great time to remind you that if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you find my videos helpful, then please do share them with others, friends, and family. And for those loyal viewers that have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your viewership. I am now moving on to predictions, which is your guys' favorite part. As usual, let me specify that I am a Vedic astrologer, so my predictions are based on Vedic astrology calculations. The predictions are based on your rising sign, which is called the ascendant, and it's also called Lagna in Hindi. It is always the first sign in your birth chart. And I always have timestamps on my pinned comment in the comment section. So make sure you listen to the correct zodiac sign. It is also my reminder to make sure you purchase some ghee from me and you know the purity that you get and the wonderful ghee that you're going to get. Aries, Saturn will retrograde in your 12th house. Aries, Saturn will retrograde in your 12th house. The 12th house signifies expenses, spirituality, foreign lands, and isolation. You may experience some delays and slowdown in the workplace. Some work that may have been progressing along may suddenly stop or encounter obstacles and delays. At the same time, achievements or benefits that you may have been expecting may also suddenly disappear, or you may find that they have been delayed for a long time. Business owners could experience the same delays and obstacles in the gains or growth of their business. There could be unforeseen disruption in your profits as well as cash flow. This is not the time to invest in your business, and rather you should try your best to maintain status quo in your business and finances. You may have to spend your savings or resources in the future months to meet your expenses, so it is better to control unnecessary spending at the start of the retrograde phase itself. Some Aries can suddenly experience professional setbacks. There is the possibility of a job change, whether by choice or something that happens out of your control. This could be related in some way due to relocation to a different place. Some of you may relocate out of choice due to a job change as well. Some of you may even experience some real estate issues due to relocation. All of these issues may cause mental stress and sleep issues. My guidance for you is to accept the changes as they come. They are for your ultimate benefit, so it is best to handle changes with a positive attitude rather than fight against them. This will be a phase of isolation where you withdraw into yourself and introspect within yourself as to what is going on in your life and how best to approach or handle it. Some of you may be drawn to spirituality, which is an excellent idea since this may help you to stay calm and relaxed. This would also be my guidance for Aries to try meditation if the mental and emotional stress gets too much for you to handle. This is not the time to take on adventurous sports, and make sure you drive carefully. Taurus, Saturn will retrograde in your 11th house. Taurus, Saturn retrogrades in your 11th house, and the 11th house is a house of gains as well as your social and professional network. It also signifies your older siblings. There will be a disturbance in all these areas during the Saturn retrograde. There can be issues getting along with others. This can be at work and also with your friends and older siblings if applicable. Issues from the past surface, and then there can be disagreements. You realize that being part of the social circle is not easy for you. In fact, it is causing you more trouble and annoyance than it's worth, and then you may even decide to exit. Some Taurus may find themselves exiting even simple WhatsApp groups because they find that they are getting annoyed with the chatter that is happening on it. There can be professional clashes between your work team and work environment due to differences in your approach towards duty and responsibilities. You may even have to exit your current work team or group. This difference of opinion or clash could even impact your family or social network or group. My guidance to you is that if and when you make this final decision to cut out what doesn't work for you or cut out those people who don't match your way of thinking, you need to think through it very clearly. Don't act hastily or emotionally. Understand your own actions and make sure it is not you that is in the wrong. But once you are clear in your mind, then just cut away and move on. Don't look back. Be prepared to start your new chapter of name and fame. Once you do that, you may actually meet a lot more new people that give you the respect that you deserve. Gains and profits may slow down or stop during this retrograde phase as you need to rethink your financial goals and plans again and make revisions accordingly. Work slows down as well. Luck may not seem to be very supportive, and so hard work will be required. There may be some concerns with your father as well. Be very supportive of him. Just understand that the prior achievements that you got so used to in the last couple of years may now feel that they're reduced. Work with patience and hard work, and you will come through this phase just fine. Gemini, Saturn retrogrades in your 10th house. Gemini, Saturn will retrograde in your 10th house of career and status. All the minor work-related issues and tasks that have been maybe irritating you for the last several weeks or months will now finally get handled, and some of them forcibly. You finally catch the bull by the horns and challenge yourself to complete or figure these tasks out in a much smarter way by figuring out a better way to deal with them, and then you finally deal with them. You will be tempted to invest in property and add new assets to your investment portfolio. You also have opportunities to meet new people, although your current relationships may also be tested, and you find that some people may exit your life due to compatibility issues. If they are leaving, just let them go, and don't struggle to hang on to relationships that may not be destined for longevity in your life. What I'm saying is, don't fight change that is inevitable during this phase. This is the time to take your job seriously and not take any careless chances with it. That means you need to fulfill all your tasks and responsibilities with diligence and dedication. Maintain discipline in your work habits and make sure you're putting in your very best. There is the chance that mistakes or issues that occurred in the past now resurface, and you are faced with handling them. Handle them in the best possible way and complete them or correct them satisfactorily. Some of you may meet up with a colleague from the past that reappears in your life for a specific purpose or reason. It could be to resolve past issues or for payback of karma of some kind. Those of you looking for a new job may have chances of returning to a previous place of work or working with a contact that you may have had professional relationship in the past. If there was unnecessary complication in any government-related work previously, then it's very possible a solution is found for it during this time. Try your best to maintain a positive relationship with your father and don't bring up previous issues to argue about. You might be tempted to argue or speak negatively about religious matters or question other people's belief systems during this retrograde phase. Avoid that at all costs. It will backfire on you, and your public image may even suffer as a result of what you say or do in this regard. Cancer. Saturn retrogrades in your 9th house. Cancer, Saturn will retrograde in the 9th house of luck, destiny, your religious faith, higher education, your father, coaches and mentors, and even sometimes it represents travel. Now, this phase is actually a time of improvement in your health, especially long lingering ailments that were not getting better in the past. You may try to explore new avenues for treatment and even consult with new medical professionals. You will finally come across newer treatment that can finally give you a relief from any long-standing health issues that you have been dealing with. Be open to change and don't fight it. The retrograde phase may influence your thought process and your overall behavior as well. You may tend to become rather negative in your approach in the workplace. Go with the flow and don't create any kind of disturbance in your job and career. Any work or tasks that were completed previously may suddenly get disrupted or even come back for revisions and correction. It would be beneficial to reconnect with mentors, guides, or people that have always given you good advice in the past. Letting go of them would not be wise because you need them to help you connect with yourself better during this phase. There may be some concern regarding your father and his health as well. A prior health ailment may finally be treated during this phase, and it will give relief and most likely put an end to the ailment once and for all. But you still need to be cautious that no new worries arise during this phase for your father. Public image or relationship with in-laws may need to be approached very cautiously. If previously there was tension with any relationships, then these come to the forefront now and need to be handled sensitively. Your public image may be impacted, so don't take matters lightly. Handle yourself with dignity and don't do anything or say anything that makes others view you in a bad light. Don't get involved in any showdowns, especially in public or on social media at all. Be careful about making travel plans because they could be constantly changing suddenly and you could be making last-minute changes. Overall, you need to be mindful of matters related to your employment, luck, and your father. As long as you handle these matters with patience, don't fight change, this phase can go quite smoothly for Cancer. Leo, Saturn retrogrades in your 8th house. Leo, Saturn is going to be retrograde in the 8th house. Now, this is a bit of a mixed house. So this phase will mostly impact health and finance for Leos, but not necessarily in a bad way. So there's no need to get concerned. Now, it's possible that some old health issue finally gets fixed or resolved due to some new treatment or new medical checkup that you go for. So that's the good news for Leos now. So if you have been suffering with a health ailment for a long time, it's time to go get a new checkup, ask for some new treatment. From a financial perspective, it could end up being an expensive time. Most of the expenses could be spending on family or due to family members. You may be called on to help out others financially and have no choice but to provide financial help to them. This could also be due to some financial mismanagement of other family members, and now you're expected to pitch in and help. As far as work is concerned, there can be changes for sure. If you were struggling previously and not experiencing any success despite your hard work, then suddenly things could turn around and you may find good success. If you were doing okay, then you may find that there can be a slowdown of growth and gains during this time. No reason to worry. Just keep the hard work going and don't deal with work matters in an egoistic way. That's when things can start becoming damaging. If you have been struggling with any issues related to government-related matters, then those may suddenly be resolved. Any pending issues with your spouse or father can get resolved now, as long as you try to work things out calmly and patiently. The key is to keep your ego in control during this time. Make sure to avoid risky investments and control all unnecessary expenses. For Leos, my only guidance is that if you can control your ego, stay humble in your job, and manage your finances prudently, you can expect comparatively better results during this retrograde phase. Virgo, Saturn retrogrades in your 7th house. Virgo, Saturn retrogrades in your 7th house of partnerships. So during this phase, all your partnerships will be tested, marital as well as business. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you have not fulfilled any of your obligations fully or honestly in the last few months or years, then those matters will come up again and you will have to deal with them again. Now, remember that this is a time of karmic review, so make sure to reflect on your past behavior and make amends or corrections accordingly. Retrospect within yourself on what wasn't done well in the past and then learn from those difficulties or mistakes to improve yourself for the future. You will achieve good results in your career, but others can become very jealous and envious of your achievements. So keep things to yourself. Don't overshare anything about yourself or your family. And don't share any plans or projects that are still in the works. There are chances that someone from the past could return and cause the same obstacles, delays, and difficulties that they did in the past. You will have lots of opportunities to meet and make new friends and create a new image or rebrand yourself in front of others. Discard the previous public perspective people had of you and create a brand new image in front of the new people that is more suited to yourself. The retrograde phase is giving you an opportunity to correct the mistakes of the past in how you presented yourself to people and now make changes to how you approach your own public image. For those individuals that have previously experienced any health issues related to reproductive organs, that may resurface again now. But this time you could get a better medical solution that ends that issue going forward. Finally, Virgo may travel a lot during this time, but be cautious because there can be some disruptions during travel, including plans could suddenly change at the last minute as well. If there had been a lack of harmony with your spouse or business partner previously, then they may finally end now, and there could be more harmony in the relationship now. The chance of success in the workplace may be stronger than before. However, as far as competition in the workplace is concerned, be aware of what is going on all around you. And as I mentioned, don't trust anyone and everyone with your own information. Relationships with coworkers is harmonious, and in fact, you may meet a coworker from the past or someone that you haven't met for a long time. Libra, Saturn retrogrades in your 6th house. Libra Saturn is going to be retrograde in the 6th house, and this is the house of your daily routine, health, your debts, and your workplace. Libra, it's time to shake up your daily routine. It's possible that you may have had a healthier lifestyle in the past, and for some reason, you discontinued it. Now, it will be very important for you to focus on your health and make sure your routine includes some physical workout as well. You will also need to pay special attention to your diet, because this phase indicates taking great care of your health. There is the possibility of a prior health ailment resurfacing, but no need to be alarmed, because if you are able to include healthy habits in your daily routine, you could possibly avoid a lot of health problems. As far as work is concerned, you may feel that things are at a standstill and you are not even being noticed. Some of you may even have some conflicts and difficulties crop up at work that may upset you. But I'm going to tell you not to worry too much about it and let it go. Don't be sensitive, and definitely don't rock the boat or force attention on yourself. In fact, this retrograde phase is actually an opportunity you are getting to develop yourself in other ways so you can achieve career growth in other ways after the retrograde phase is over. So think about how and what you can do to develop yourself during this retrograde phase. Perhaps some additional training or a new career field, or even a second income when the new transit of Saturn starts next year. Think of this as a time to prepare for future growth. Business owners may also experience a lack of growth and be stressed over it. The same guidance applies to you as well. Think of what else you can do to improve yourself and the business so it can help in the success of the business after the retrograde phase is over. Some Libras may get into a loan or debt situation for various reasons, but mainly due to housing reasons. There could be some issues with this, so proceed with caution if you are in the market for getting a home loan. Don't go overboard with getting any kind of loans at this time. However, a lot of Libras may also be in the opposite situation where they are able to pay off their loans, which if they are able to, they definitely should during this time. Scorpio, Saturn retrogrades in your 5th house. Scorpio, Saturn retrogrades in your 5th house. The 5th house rules your creativity, children, love life, education, hobbies and interests, and generally all the fun things in our life. Retrograde Saturn will make you introspect a lot about your overall career and financial situation in life. You are now thinking if all the hard work that you have been putting in is even worth it, at least on a go-forward basis. You are concerned about the future stability of your job, career, and even income. In fact, this could have been on your mind for some time now, but during this retrograde phase, this feeling intensifies. You wonder if a career change would be favorable, but again, you are hesitant. Due to this, there could be mental stress, and this could impact the overall happiness in the home environment as well. This is also a time when you're out and about meeting lots of new people due to a couple of reasons. You could be interested in developing new professional contacts, and also the new social life could ease your mental tension as well. Some of you may also get in contact with a prior coworker, or they may come back in your life in some way to finalize their karmic bond with you. For individuals that practice special fine arts or crafts, they may even start thinking of starting a business idea related to that. Those that are already in the business of items dealing with creativity may come across something from the past and put that into practice or in their business. Now, my guidance is to think about something you may have created in the past and practice that again by incorporating some new creative ideas into it. Manage your relationships with children. They may have difficulties in education. Although for those parents that are dealing with ongoing misunderstandings with their children, those seem to be getting resolved now. Some Scorpios may even experience the return of a prior love interest in their life, especially if they had worked together in the past. This is not a good time for making new investments. Sagittarius, Saturn retrogrades in your 4th house. Sagittarius, Saturn will retrograde in your 4th house of domestic matters, mental happiness, and real estate. This retrograde phase of Saturn focuses on all things related to household and domestic matters. You will need to focus on your mental happiness and don't let anything disturb you emotionally and mentally. There's a possibility of real estate transactions, more than likely sale of assets, likely real estate sales. The sale of real estate could be due to relocation or a job change. Speaking of jobs, this phase gives some level of worry about your career and profession. There may be some challenges related to work or relationships. Issues created in the past could resurface again, and now you may be faced with dealing with them, so a final resolution is arrived at. It could be inaccuracies or mistakes in your work or unhealthy relationships with coworkers that are brought up again to you. These could cause you some stress. My guidance to you is to take the responsibility and handle them with dignity. Do not get involved in nasty ego battles. For those Sagittarius that are not completely happy in their current jobs, don't make the mistake of making a sudden career change impulsively without a thorough checking of that opportunity. It's possible to make unwise decisions during this phase, so make sure you have thought through everything thoroughly and only then make any career changes. If for some reason an unwanted change of place is taking place, you may actually get relief from that change of place for some time. Take care of your mother, and your relationship with her also needs to be nurtured. Avoid bringing up past issues or have any argument with her. If she had a health ailment in the past, there is a possibility of it resurfacing, so have her take good care of her health. Also, if you've had any chest ailments in the past, there's a tiny possibility that that might resurface now as well. The good news is that if there had been any previous misunderstandings with family members, then those could get resolved now via talking through these calmly and patiently. Regardless of how stressed you get, make sure to maintain a happy and peaceful domestic environment. If you find yourself to be too tense or be anxious, then the best thing you can do is meditation. It will do wonders for your mental health through the Saturn retrograde phase. Capricorn. Saturn retrogrades in your third house. Capricorn, Saturn is going to be retrograde in your third house. The third house represents all kinds of communication, short distance travel, siblings, and your courage and initiative. During this phase, the focus will be on maintaining relationships with siblings, close friends, and neighbors. Stay cautious of what you say to them or how you react to them. This is not the time to start needless discussions or arguments with them. More specifically, don't dredge up past things that may have happened in the past and then point fingers at others on what mistakes they did. Rather, introspect within yourself on what were some things that you could have done better in the relationship. If there are previous grievances in these relationships, then there are good chances of resolving past differences by talking through them and, more importantly, understanding your own mistakes rather than pointing out the mistakes of others. This Saturn retrograde phase is coming up so you can review your own self, make corrections in your own behavior, and then move forward in a better and wiser way. As far as paperwork is concerned, make sure to double check everything thoroughly before you send it off to others or you sign on any contractual documents. Read the fine print and don't agree to any commitments that you are not comfortable with. These could become big problems in the future. It seems like promises and commitments made during this retrograde phase may be made in haste or may be very hard to fulfill later. Also, don't make any inaccurate statements to anyone, and especially not in the workplace. You may find that things that you have said are inaccurate in the workplace, and you may be embarrassed by them later. Be extra cautious with agreeing or signing any contracts that are government related at this time. You may regret that, or you may neglect to read the fine print on them, and you may find out later that it's something you should not have done. However, if there are any past promises or commitments made, then those will come up again now and you will feel the need to fulfill them as per your agreement. So there's things that you could have promised to do or made any commitments in the past that you could have even forgotten, but now those people will come back and say, well, you promised to do this, so now you're going to have to do this. If you get any news from anywhere, definitely verify its validity and accuracy before you react to it or spread it to others. Unfortunately, Capricorn, this is really not the time to trust everyone or anyone. Trust in your own hard work and maintain your own documentation and evidence on everything. Others may not turn out to be on your side always and can also possibly turn against you when you think that you're going to count on them. You will be traveling during this time, and it could be places that have a connection with your past or maybe to visit siblings. Be ready for some sudden changes in travel plans. Make sure you pack everything, especially important documents, so you don't forget them at home. Aquarius, Saturn retrogrades in your second house. Aquarius, Saturn will retrograde in your second house, and the second house represents family, finance, speech, and also the food you eat. Aquarius, the focus is now firmly on extended family matters and your finance. In fact, you're going to get pulled between these two issues a lot during this phase, and it will start to impact your health to a certain degree as well. Aquarians that were previously experiencing challenges in relationships with extended family members will now have to take a long, hard look at what exactly is going on and then review how to proceed further. You can either choose to find some resolution in matters where there was discord by identifying the exact issue and then sorting it out with the family members concerned. Or you may even decide that it's really not worth it and there's nothing more you can do and let that relationship end once and for all. Now, this depends on how you feel about the overall health of the relationship and if it even worth saving. The Saturn retrograde is going to force this relationship review once and for all. Regardless of how things turn out, this can impact your health to a very large degree. You may ignore your health and well-being, and that can make your health matters worse. Some Aquarians may be overworking, and that could end up impacting their health as well. So be aware and make sure you maintain a very good work-life balance. You also need to take care of your dietary habits and consume food that is healthy and agrees with your constitution. Don't eat oily fried foods a lot. That could cause digestive issues for you during this phase. Those Aquarians that experience any problems related to their eyes and or teeth, these could resurface again. But if they do, then this time you would be able to get a much better solution for it to cure the issue once and for all. The second focus is going to be on finance. You need to stay extra cautious with spending and investments. This is not the time to mismanage your finances. Some of you could have extra expenses due to family-related issues. But my guidance is not to take on any financial risks during this time. Pisces, Saturn retrogrades in your own first house, the ascendant house, or your own rising sign. Pisces, Saturn will retrograde in your own ascendant house, the first house. When Saturn retrogrades in your own house, that almost indicates a karmic reboot of sorts. This means that your entire physical, emotional, and mental body needs to dump out the negativity it has been storing and start with a fresh slate. Saturn is giving you this opportunity to review your past months and years and think of all those issues, matters, and relationships where you could have made mistakes and now you can clean them by making amends and start a fresh slate. If you cling to that belief that you didn't make any mistakes whatsoever, then you will be carrying a lot of old baggage into the new 30-year cycle of Saturn that will start next year. Now, this may prevent your growth and success going forward next year if that's how you want to deal with it. The truth is that everybody makes mistakes, and so did you, so you need to recognize those. The retrograde occurs for this very reason, that is to make corrections in our behavior, and everyone, like I said, makes mistakes. Just understand that. So it's possible that during this phase, there is some pressure on you to make changes in several areas of your life. For those Pisces that are currently experiencing a health problem, they may suddenly get a solution to that problem. For others, it could mean that a previous health problem resurfaces now especially one related to your feet or head. And if you do experience any health issues, do not ignore them and get treatment right away. There are very good chances that this time there can be very good medical solution to it and you can cure it forever. And finally, overall, you will need to take care of your health during this period. There will be a need to pay special attention to financial management and you need to avoid unnecessary spending. As far as career matters are concerned, you need to work hard and not lose your motivation and initiative. Sometimes Saturn in the first house can make a person lose their self-confidence. So you need to pay special attention to your own self-worth and self-confidence and don't sell yourself short. You may need to reflect on what the reasons are for the lack of confidence that you may have been feeling and then take measures to fix those issues. Also remember that the critical way in which you can be more self-assured is by maintaining a very high level of work performance and fulfilling all your work obligations with responsibility. Make every effort to overcome those challenges and improve your own public image and understand your own value. That is it for this video. I hope you find it useful. I wish everyone a happy and successful Saturn retrograde phase. I'll see you on my next video. Goodbye.